Mark Urban there. Well, the Palestinian leadership, as you heard, wasn't in the room for that unveiling, but we have Dr. Husam Zomlot, the chief Palestinian diplomat to the UK, with us here. Dr. Zomlot, your first reaction to the plan proposed today?
There was no plan. There was no deal proposed today. This was one of the biggest scams in modern history. I mean, it's just a scam. And unfortunately, this political theater was done exactly like your report suggested, given the timing, to save two men at the expense of everybody else.
But there was a document. There was 80 pages of Did you read that? Did you go through the details?
Well, we know exactly why such a piece of paper was offered. It is the most disingenuous piece of paper to offer swaths of land in the Negev desert that Israel will never give up, just to make sure that they will take the land that they want, in contradiction with international law.
I'm just trying to get a sense, so did you engage with it at all? Did you open it and read it and study the details? Or did you say, I'm not going to bother looking at this because I know it for what I believe?
The so-called plan has just come out only an hour and a half ago. And the American administration had many opportunities to engage us. I was in Washington in 2017. President Abbas met President Trump 4 times in a matter of weeks. We met his team 32 times, even more, Kushner and Greenblatt and the others. And all of a sudden, we get a phone call from the State Department that our mission is to be shuttered. This is not an administration that is interested in really engaging the Palestinians.
But
from the beginning, Emily, this was a process about unleashing the Greater Israel Project. This was about endorsing the settler movement. No wonder what you saw today in that room, in that hall. Only the extreme ultra-nationalist elements of Israel, the settler leader, were in that audience.
Well, let me ask you, because you've called on the UK government to have a part in these negotiations. Now, the Foreign Office said today in a statement, only the leaders of Israel and the Palestinian territories can determine whether these proposals can meet the needs and aspirations. We encourage them to give these plans genuine and fair consideration. Do you dismiss that appeal from the UK government?
Well, I think the UK should know better, given its historic responsibility and role. The UK is a founder of the international order, the rules-based order, and what Trump today did was a knockdown of this order, was really dismantling the premise.
They're just asking for consideration.
Dismantling the premise. The writings are all over the wall, Emily, in terms of the timing, and be it only about these two men and saving their careers. The writings is on the wall in terms of the content. We don't need to know what's in that document because we already know what's not in it.
I ask because there is a danger, isn't there?
We know, Emily, let me just say the sentence. We know Jerusalem is not in it, and Jerusalem is not something we claim. Jerusalem is something we own. There are 350,000 Palestinians that own every home, every shop, every church, every mosque. But we know that refugees is not in it. We know that borders are not in it. We know that settlements are not in it, the illegal. We know that the Jordan Valley, which is 30% of the occupied West Bank, the national strategic reservoir of Palestine, is not in it. There is nothing in it. It's a scam.
I hear you.
So you ask me and blame me for not accepting a peace deal.
I'm not blaming you. I'm putting this to you.
And the UK has missed an opportunity
when
today.
President Trump tries to talk to Palestinian people and he talks about a $50 billion economic plan, he talks about 1 million jobs over 10 years, he talks about doubling the size of the economy. What he's doing, and you'll appreciate this, is speaking over the heads of the leaders, speaking over the heads of people like you, of Mahmoud Abbas, who says 1,000 times no. And he's hoping that people on the ground are saying, do you know what? We're sick of the fighting, we're sick of the injustice, we're sick of everything. We want the economic plan because we don't care enough about the identity anymore.
Seriously, Emily, you think...
I don't know, I'm asking you.
Seriously, Emily, you think the people of Palestine are up for sale? Go see the streets of Jerusalem and Ramallah and Gaza now as we speak. See the thousands of people taking off to the streets in protest. People are dignified and people are after their rights. These rights are very well defined and have been established by the international community for the last 70 years. These rights are the rights of self-determination, statehood, that Israel must end its occupation that began in 1967, including East Jerusalem, and includes a fair and just resolution to the issue of refugees. And people are way more angry and resentful of the Trump attempts than the leadership, for your information.
But you know I'm going to speak to a Trump supporter who's worked with him, and they will say, you see what happens, the Palestinians don't even want to engage. Now, what is the message?
Engage in what? In succumbing, in submitting, in foregoing our rights, in not having a real state, in offering me a Mickey Mouse state just for the sake of blaming the Palestinians once more. Succumb to what exactly? In all of a sudden raising the white flag and say that we have no claim to our own land, we don't deserve a real sovereign state, that we have no control of our airspace or our borders only because of Israel's security concerns.
So tell me, this is the end, is it?
The UK official legal position that all Israeli settlements are illegal, that was expressed only last week, and must cease immediately. This is in contradiction of international law.
Right.
All of a sudden is being legitimized by the Trump administration, and then now we have to accept a new international order whereby there are strong men who can dictate whatever they want for the sake of their own personal interest.
Okay.
Emily, this is not a moment for Palestinians only. This is not a moment for Israel-Palestine only. This is a moment for all of us, for saving the post-Second World War order that we established after the horrors of the Second World War, and our ability to cooperate in a multilateral forum.
But I'm trying to work out in practical terms, as you say, this proposal or deal or whatever, Mickey Mouse deal, is 3 hours old. Do you turn around and say it's already dead? There is no point engaging, there's no point reading, there is no point even picking up the phone at this point. It is dead and we think it's a sham.
You didn't hear the statement by Prime Minister Netanyahu?
I did.
Today? You didn't hear what he had to say? He said that this means we will keep all of our illegal colonial settlements.
I'm just asking, from your perspective.
We will return 30% of the occupied West Bank. We will keep Jerusalem undivided from the biblical land.
So do you pick up the phone and say, this is disgraceful, I want to talk to you and it won't work like this, or not?
We did for a very good period of time. We conveyed our messages, and then the US administration started backing us from November 2017 all the way to today with unilateral decisions, and they wanted to come and sit on the table to legitimize their illegitimate decisions. We will not do that.
Husam Zomlot, thank you very much. Thanks for coming in.